Hey, guess what? There's a new term going around. Inflation is over. We're in disinflation. That's the term that's been going around the business news media, and I believe it's being used to try to manipulate you into thinking that inflation is over and done with. Our president has actually, either through deception or ignorance, claimed that prices are coming down. But most of us are looking at our wallets, or we're seeing our budgets and looking at our financial apps, and we're thinking, how could this possibly be? And the truth is, it's because it's not true. Yes, it's true that inflation was moving at a faster rate, and that peak was realized in June. I remember this clearly, as I was almost paying $5 a gallon filling up my tank on the way to taking a family day trip to the beach. At that time, the CPI inflation rate that was given to us was 9.1%. I say given to us because if we were counting inflation the same way we did in the late 70s and early 80s, it would be double that number at least. Since June, the inflation rate has come down to about 6.1%. But when we hear the words come down, we may be thinking that prices are actually going down. But it's important to understand what disinflation actually means. Here's my key point. Prices are still going up. You know it, and I know it. Check out your grocery, utility, rent, or insurance bill. What we're supposed to celebrate is the fact that this big ship that's sinking is not quite sinking as fast as we thought. But we still have no communication with any other ships as of yet, and the lifeboats were thrown overboard long ago. Inflation for last month was 6.5%. Inflation a year prior, in December of 2021, was 7%. So we actually have 6.5% inflation on top of the 7% inflation of last year. So in other words, we're seeing inflation on top of inflation year to year. If prices were actually coming down, then it would be a negative number and there would actually be deflation. So we're celebrating what may be a temporary dip on a trend line that's still heading up. And we risk it really going up until it doesn't, because something breaks in our economy. Think of this like the incline option on your treadmill. It's not set at the highest setting, but we're still going up and it's really starting to hurt. So yes, the pace has slowed down for now. Disinflation is the slowing down of inflation, but then prices are still going up. Prices are not coming down. Now, I believe that God is in charge and He has a plan for this. But we should remove the scale from our eyes and do our best to prepare our family for what's taking place. And certainly, don't feel isolated whenever you see and you're scratching your head wondering why you're being told that we're in disinflation as if prices are actually deflating, and they're not. We can't believe these things. We have to understand that we have an incompetent president. We have incompetent politicians that very much want you to believe and need you to believe that things are getting better so that they can remain in power. But the truth is, you and I both know that this is not true. Disinflation is different from deflation. We need to know that. Different. Disinflation is only a slight slowdown. We're still heading up, but we're not at the same level of incline. But guess what? That could change. That could change so quickly where we have an event that takes place. Now we're back up to that peak like we experienced in June, and perhaps even worse. So be praying for our country and don't let this misinformation get to your head. Yes, your money is losing its value, and that's because of inflation. And inflation is still occurring even whenever disinflation is also occurring.